Because I can do it.
So for me, since I'm a photojournalist,
Yeah.
I'm a photojournalist. So for me, I'm the one that charges
How many
like
pictures do we have?
cameras.
That's two.
But with the show,
That's those two.
Total of like,
interviewing people and
oh, this is one
stuff.
too.
I wasn't before. I wasn't
And the reporter.
Look at that
the
face.
camera guy doing this, but we had a reporter years ago to an addiction
I
model.
like little Rico's face. I like people.
She was injured, and I can't remember, but
Yeah, so for
I had one.
that's something that's
those old mobiles, and
for anyone that's multimedia journalist.
it had the cables, and I had a 93 thing plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard it crackling at some point, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I stepped away, and a flame shot out of that plug out the back. It's like, whoa! And just flamed out.
Very, very soon the TV is done.
Those old lights, man, it was so hot.
If I
God,
put
seen
that one
people
alive
like
right
set
now, I am the
curtains on
first
fire
person.
with them. And not miss those at all. When I was in Waco, we did a shoot at a movie theater, and I had the light plugged in.
You don't have to carry all this.
My light,
Stuff like that. It's less small.
oh, tripped it out.
Yeah.
And all of, in an instant, all of the video games. You're really quiet.
It's good to know.
They had to go to an individual story, let's say, because sometimes I work with a serial reporter, and let's say breaking news happens, right? Now, I can go and go to whatever breaking news happens and make it,
Yeah.
they need to, take back up.
Make sure I was at work this morning on my way to work. I mean, it's two big flatbed
No,
truck,
also make
not
me
just a
feel
pickup
little
truck,
bit
but
more.
like a
Yeah. You know,
Like
it's
a-
big
okay.
cab.
the biggest thing
with
is,
a flatbed.
it depends on the station you're at, but a lot of the time,
Under the gear,
it's
you know,
always
there's like a
yeah,
gearbox,
it's important to
a
make sure
gear
that
tray,
reporters should come
and it
through,
holds like a toolbox
Yeah.
that has
it's
whatever.
already cutlass it is, so,
There's a chain.
you know, no need to be like,
They
hey,
were
you get
securing
this,
it,
it's
one
like,
chain,
well, it's kind
securing it top to bottom.
of tough.
Yes, I know.
It was actually, it was two chains, and linking them.
You
was
have. I need your help
Sorry.
after.
I got you.
So,
I got
okay,
you.
thank you. So,
Make sure you
I have another question.
Huh?
Somebody's in Spanish, do you have somebody in Spanish?
I don't think we do today.
Only English.
Only English today, I think.
Only
I can double
English.
check, but.
Okay, no, it's fine, it's okay.
Is everyone else ready to go?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Because I have, my community is a Spanish speaker, but it's okay, I translate it.
I know that after this was sort of that, you know.
Oh, they go to like you disturb my big camera.
Yeah, you can right to the podium here. We have our detective here. After his little brief thing, if you just want to raise your hand for questions, that'd be awesome. And everyone's good?
All right. Thank everybody for being here. I am Detective Gadiel Alas, spelled Gadiel, last name Alas. I am a detective with the robbery unit here with the Austin Police Department. Today we're here to talk about two separate aggravated robberies involving French Bulldogs that happened over the weekend. We'll go into the first one, case number 25033-1132. This occurred in North Central Austin at the 1030 Norwood Park Boulevard Walmart. At approximately 5 p.m., our victims were in the parking lot and had a brief interaction with the suspect, who was identified as Servando Cruz Jr. After the interaction was coming to an end, Servando took a bulldog puppy from the victims, produced a handgun, and fled the scene at a high rate of speed. Victims, wanting to get their puppy back, chased Servando, and the Servando, who was driving the red Corvette, chased him for a little bit, and ultimately the victims ended up crashing into a wall. They called APD. Patrol officers in the area located the Corvette a short distance away. engaged that in a pursuit, but obviously it's a Corvette. It was pretty fast. Patrol officers called the robbery unit, and I fielded the call as the on-call detective. There were leads made that night. Servando was identified as a suspect, and I obtained 3 warrants for him that night, 2 for aggravated robbery, 1 for evading in a motor vehicle. On February 6th, yesterday, we, with the help of the Austin Police Department SWAT team, the Violent Crimes Task Force, and robbery detectives, we conducted 2 residential search warrants, one in Dale, Texas, in the early mornings, where we were able to recover the stolen puppy, a handgun, a stolen rifle, and the stolen Corvette was on property. Unfortunately, Servando was not on property and has not been arrested at this point. We are asking for the public's help in finding Servando. Later on that night, case number 250331337 at around 7 p.m. in the 1100 block of Shady Lane, which is Central Austin. Our victim was walking his 2 dogs in the apartment complex when the suspect, identified as Roderick Harvey, pulled alongside of him, had a brief conversation about his dog, at which point Roderick produced a firearm, demanded the French Bulldog. Obviously, the victim didn't want to give over his dog. Struggle ensued. Roderick shot him in the foot, took the dog. Both dogs were on a double leash. Roderick's actions of jumping in the car with the French Bulldog that we know is Freya. The other dog was still leashed up, drove off for a little bit, and unfortunately, the second dog was drug underneath the car for a little bit. He is fine, some scrapes and bruises, but the victim tells me he's in good spirits. On February 4th, with the help of our Violent Crimes Task Force, the Elgin Police Department, Bastrop County Sheriff's Office, and robbery detectives, we executed a search warrant in Elgin, Texas for the suspect. He was arrested. In his possession was an AK pistol, an AR pistol, revolver, and about a quarter ounce of illegal narcotics. At that point, Freya was still outstanding. February 6th, we conducted a secondary residential search warrant in Bastrop County based on leads developed in our investigation of Freya's whereabouts. Freya was not at that location, but that led us to a second location. Speaking with the residents on that location sent us to a second and a third and a fourth. Finally, we reached a family member of Raddick who promised to help us out. At about 7 p.m. last night, that family member got in contact with the robbery detectives and told them he was in possession of Freya and was willing to meet us to hand her over. Freya was recovered, secured, and delivered to the victims yesterday. I do want to take a moment to highlight the outstanding work of our Violent Crimes Task Force. They are comprised of 8 highly trained and skilled officers, 2 detectives, and a sergeant. They're the tip of the spear when it comes to locating and arresting Austin's worst violent crime offenders. VCTF officers are highly committed in the mission of keeping Austin safe. There's no doubt in my mind, regardless of the work detectives put into these cases, the Frenchies would not have been reunited with their families. Surveillance in 5 different counties, executed 4 residential search warrants, seized 3 rifles, 1 revolver, 1 pistol, and a quarter ounce of illicit narcotics, and reunited 2 dogs with their families, all in the meanwhile working other violent crime cases around Austin. I'll take some questions now.
Were you the one who got to deliver the dog back to the family, Freya?
Myself, another detective, and some patrol officers, yes, sir.
You guys can raise your hand, and we'll start with Nancy over here.
Yes, I had a question just because it is dealing with 2 of the same breed of dogs. Is this something you guys have just seen on the rise, or is this something just pure coincidentally?
So, since 2021, there's been about 7 different French Bulldog robberies. When you could talk to the conscious, right, our dogs are our family members. So it does weigh heavily on people.
What is it about this breed of dog that they're so attractive?
Their monetary value. Other than being really cute, they do have a high monetary value. If you get a Frenchie from a reputable breeder with papers, they cost about $8,000. If you're doing a Facebook Marketplace deal, anywhere from $2,800 to $3,000.
I have one question. Hi, nice to meet you. I am independent journalist for bilingual population, but right now I have the question in general. What is the rate for robbery in Austin if we compare this year with the last year?
Are you talking about how many robberies
Yes,
there's been?
is decrease, is
Well, we're only, a month and 2 weeks into the new year. I know last year we had close to 1,500 robberies. As a robbery unit, we have over 50% clearance rate on robberies, solving them, which is almost more than double the state average. As far as this year, I don't have any numbers for that.
Oh, yeah, but my next question is how the community can help and work together with the police, residential, commercial, or whatever, for get done.
Sure. I think speaking to the individual, best practices is kind of always being aware of your surroundings. Know what you're doing. Try not to be distracted in your phone with headphones in your ears. If you're doing Facebook Marketplace deals, do your best to take screenshots of suspects, Facebook profiles, phone numbers you're doing to communicate with them, cars that they're arriving in. That helps us on the back end, but I think just on the front end, to avoid being a victim, just try to do your best to be aware of your surroundings.
What should people? Here, we'll go over here with you, Angela. Yeah.
How often are Frenchies or dogs of any kind stolen in these particular areas? Is this part of a trend or more one-off instances?
No, people. Again, since 2021, there's been about 7 French Bulldog, or what the numbers are for regular thefts. If it's a robbery, it's a theft with some type of either firearm or force used, or threat force used, which makes it a felony. I don't know what the numbers are for the misdemeanor theft part is.
Were any shots fired during these incidents?
Yes, in the second robbery of the night on Shady Lane, unfortunately the victim did sustain a gunshot to his foot.
What should people do if they're threatened at gunpoint for their pet?
I would say always comply with whatever it is that they're doing, and let us try to help you on the back end.
Can you help people understand that? Because, a lot of people, their pet is not their pet. It is their kid. It is their loved one.
Yes.
It's like, here, take my baby.
Right.
No one's going to do that. So.
No, I completely understand. I have 2 little pit bull mixes myself, and I would do anything to keep them from being hurt. But at the same time, you're not only putting yourself at risk, but you're putting other bystanders. It's hard for me to say it personally, but give into the commands and let us do what we do.
We'll go to Kelsey and then over here.
Is there anything that people should look out for? Because you did say that Servando has still not been arrested.
Yes, so Servando has ties to Bastrop County, Del Valley, and in Austin, his whereabouts are still unknown. We don't know. We have some leads that we're following, but we just haven't been able to track them down just yet.
Did chips come into play in this in either of these 2 cases?
No, but that's a good point. So if there's ever...
What was the state of the puppies? Were they frazzled? They're okay?
So the first puppy that we affectionately named Timmy, he was super excited. He never met a stranger. It's 6th to 7th week puppy. He was in good spirits. Freya seemed to be very elated to be leaving the place that she was at.
So that guy, for that case, he go inside the residence. So no.
No, these all happened outside.
Outside the residence.
Yes.
But it's almost around the resident, the community, the people living. So what is the prevention handle that situation because the guy have 2 guns?
Sure. So in the instance for the second robbery on Shady Lane, there were multiple people outside. My recommendation is be the best witness you can, whether it's pulling out that cell phone and making some recordings, trying to get the best description of suspects or vehicles possible. That, for this case in particular, was huge help to our investigation.
We'll take one more question.
Is there
What are
any
some red flags
evidence
people
that
should
there
look
are more dogs being stolen by these 2? Is there a dog ring going on, or were these just one-time acts by these guys?
I don't know if these were one-time acts. Based on the search warrants that we did at these residences, there was no evidence to suggest this is a ring.
We'll do last
Red
question.
flags for people that might be looking to get a dog and they see you said are pretty expensive dogs and they might find a cheap price. I mean, what are the red flags that people should be looking for on that?
Facebook profiles that were probably made not too long ago. Looks pretty new. Almost 0 friends on their friends list. We always suggest if you're going to do a Facebook Marketplace, whether it's for a dog or a refrigerator, do it in a parking lot of a police substation or some first responder area where there's going to be good lighting and a lot of good witnesses. Somebody is hesitant to meet at a police station, they probably don't have good intentions.
Thank you, Detective. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Are you guys going to send those pictures?
We have them in the press release. The ones of Freya being recovered are on my Twitter account.
Facebook Marketplace.
So, yeah, those ones should be already up. But if there's any that you see that you don't have, let
How
me
many
know.
are there extra ones of Freya? Because we saw in the press release, there's, I think, 4 shots of Freya.
So yeah, if there's any more that you need or want, send PIO and I can try and
And
track some
the
more down.
suspects' photos were also in
Those
there?
were in the press releases
Okay.
yesterday, correct,
I
yes.
think the slides had the Harvey Roderick's name backwards from the press release. Like in the press release, it was like Roderick Harvey, and then on here it was like.
Oh, sorry, that might be
Roderick. So which one's his first?
Oh, yeah.
I think Roderick Harvey, yeah, sorry.
Roderick is his
We've
first
had a
name.
very happy morning. I think it was probably in there as Harvey, Roderick,
okay.
and Sadot probably got it mixed up. So sorry, that's us.
Walmart.
Roderick Harvey. Thank you for checking.
I love that.